There is a crazy story about a guy, a famous guy from the movie The Social Network, who played himself twice. He played two people as himself.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Cameron Winklevoss.
Hi.
Tyler Winklevoss.
However actors work, I'm not sure. He's also known for recent statements. And I quote, "You know what you have to do to actually be a cannibal? You have to actually eat human flesh. So no." And that's in response to being questioned about whether or not he himself is a cannibal.
But I'm giving you a chance to explain, are you a cannibal? I guess is the question.
You know what you have to do to actually be a cannibal? You have to actually eat human flesh. So no.
And I tell you what, guys, that sounds like something a cannibal would say, if you ask me. Someone who says that they're 100% a cannibal. This is one of the craziest and loopiest and fruitiest stories that I've seen in a long time. I believe I covered it a while ago, but it's been re-emerging, and this guy just has a lot of interesting stuff going on. Armie Hammer is a famous person who is trying to make a career comeback after getting a bunch of allegations, and apparently the revelation came out that he was a cannibal. How can you be a cannibal and not be in jail? Well, my friends, we're about to talk about the cannibal Armie Hammer, the self-described cannibal Armie Hammer.
What do you feel that a large swathe of the public just think Armie Hammer is a cannibal?
If you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you. Yeah.
But the reason they would believe it is because you said it.
Sure.
I'm 100% a cannibal.
It's such an odd thing. He talks like Hannibal Lecter.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans.
In January 2021, Armie Hammer's career trajectory took an unexpected and precipitous turn. I write precipitous, fortuitous. Not fortuitous, the opposite of fortuitous.
It's almost like I want to eat you. But I don't think that's any different than when someone looks at a baby and goes, "Oh my God, look at those cute little fat legs. I just want to eat you up."
Completely tying you up and incapacitating you and then being able to do whatever I wanted.
He took some pretty big L's. And by that I mean, an Instagram account named House of Effie published alleged text messages purportedly sent by Armenstein Hammerboy, which is his full name, which contained graphic descriptions of sexual fantasies and disturbing references to cannibalism. Do you know what cannibalism is? It's when people eat other people, like Dahmer. I believe he was a cannibal. There's a few other cannibals famous. There's not that many well-known cannibals who are known for anything other than just being cannibals. It's kind of a taboo subject, really. Obviously, Armie Hammerstein denied the cannibal allegations, but I don't know how you can deny cannibal allegations when you are quite literally over text fantasizing about breaking someone's bones and asking them to cut a piece of their skin off and cook it for you. I don't know, dude. It seems like that it's just an unreasonable thing.
I think that was just sort of like born out of a desire to sort of like, I want you so completely, and I want you so totally that it's almost like I want to eat you.
I'm going to clum? Thinking of breaking your bones. Talk to me, text me. Text me about your bones while I'm, oh shit. And I'm sending, ooh, wow, this is really bad. Thinking of breaking your ribs. Oh, that's so strange. That's a really odd thing. Brand you, tattoo you, mark you, shave your head. This is just really bad. This is really bad. And people say you're not supposed to leak text messages and all that stuff, which I agree entirely with that. But holy shit, man. This is just abnormal. This is abnormal. I want to see your brains, your blood, your organs, every part of you. I would definitely bite it 100%. Or try to f it. If I f you into a vegetative state, I'd keep you, feed you, wash you, and keep you till you are sore and broken. You're my angel. You're made to save me. You're mine, you hear me? Say it now. I am yours. I belong to you. Say that you are mine. Mine. M-I-N-E. I own you now. I'll own you forever. Very, very strange. I need your blood. I crave it. Will you give it to me tomorrow? Don't forget that you're mine. This person says that topic, once again, it is very intense, kind of showing, obviously, maybe this is going a bit too far. And then the Winklevoss twins from The Social Network says, I'm intense. I need your blood. I want you to feed me with it. Bro, this is fucking crazy. Now, I'm not sure if this guy's a cannibal, because he says he's not a cannibal, but he also says, I'm 100% a cannibal. He admitted to being a cannibal in a horny fit of rage. That seems just crazy. That just made me so hard, and it makes me confused as to why. Is that even possible? So hard, thinking of holding your heart in my hand and controlling when it beats. I am 100% a cannibal. want to eat you. Fuck, that's scary to admit. I've never admitted that before. I've cut the heart out of a living animal before eating it while still warm, which that's still really wild and crazy, and maybe some like hunting hazing or that's some redneck shit right there. Been there, done that. But all this other shit is just the sheer fact that this adult man, I assume in a consenting conversation with another adult person, said, I'm 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. Can you say that? That would be like saying, I'm 100% a murderer. I want to kill you. What's the difference? Is there a difference in that? I really don't know.
Different people have different sexual fantasies.
Now, all this stuff came out, and I guess these are allegations. More stuff came out alongside these texts. A big chungus worth of information flew from the ass crack of the internet and just spread everyone head to toe. The initial reactions to the allegations varied significantly. Some people were just like, oh my God. Some people were outraged. Then as everything continued to unfold, multiple women came forward with accusations against Armie Hammer, alleging emotional abuse and sexual coercion. And those additional claims, which that seems to happen when something like this, when the levee breaks, no normal person is saying, I'm 100% a cannibal and I want to eat you in a horny fit of rage. That's fucking insane.
But it's kind of BDSM, kinky sex roleplay. It's not actually meant to be taken seriously as you wanting to rape her or to be a cannibal. Is that your argument about the way all this played out?
It's not only my argument, that's the reality of the situation. You know, different people have different sexual fantasies. Yeah, you know, and there's a very broad spectrum of sexuality.
Scrutiny, though. All right, the Eye of Sauron came down on this man, and it's just bad. I never thought he would ever recover, but he's currently on a PR tour trying to recover. I cannot get enough of this. First things first, I hope anybody who was fucked over by him or whatever the extent of whatever he's done, hopefully they've got their comeuppance. I don't know. You know, he's had a hard couple years. I know that. I think he worked at a hotel at some point or something. I saw a TikTok went viral of people just making fun of him, being like, he's a cannibal and a rapist or whatever, which I don't know about any of that stuff. As far as I know, he's not convicted with any kind of crime. But I tell you what, he talks about a lot of that stuff on his text, all right? I'll be Armie Hammer. You guys can be the normal person. Would you live in a cage? Said Armie Hammer. The normal person said, take me to your leader. Kind of funny. Let me take care of everything. You don't think or worry about anything except being a good little pet, my own personal little slave. In return, you'll be worshipped, fed, and f***ed. There's a book you'd love if you don't already know it. The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty. Story of O? Oh, haven't read that yet. He instead of kissing her and then makes her a slave. Jesus, with 5 E's. That's very biblical. Now, after all this stuff came out, Armie did respond. He dismissed the allegations and he characterized the accusations as spurious online attacks. He attempted to downplay their significance and maintain his public image. Obviously, because then what else are you supposed to do? Be like, I'm definitely a cannibal. I'm sorry, guys. I just, I didn't think you guys would figure that out. But all right, hold on. I'm getting a golf cart delivered right now. I'll be right back. His strategy didn't work out too well. Pretty ineffective, to be honest. He said,
I'm not responding to these bullshit claims, but in light of the vicious and spurious attacks online against me, I cannot in good conscience now leave my children for 4 months to shoot a film in the Dominican Republic. Lionsgate is supporting me in this, and I'm grateful to them for that.
Armie Hammer said in a statement, an official statement. Imagine your dad saying, I'm 100% a cannibal. That sounds like something a cannibal would say in response to spurious online attacks, for sure. Someone who refers to themselves as 100% anyways. You guys get what I mean? It's a joke, right? It's a funny joke. Studios, Lionsgate included, began distancing themselves from Armie Hammer almost instantaneously. This is like peak Me Too as well. So lots and lots and lots of freaks are coming down, falling, getting shit on by the internet, and this fellow was caught right in that. He had a fairly thriving career, I would say, with a ton of high-profile projects in the rear view and in the future pipeline, then gets super horny, says, I'm 100% a cannibal, I want to eat you and put you in a cage, etc., etc. Persona non grata. His career was halted by all this stuff.
Armie Hammer is leaving the cast of the planned action comedy Shotgun Wedding after alleged graphic social media messages detailing his private life were leaked.
Now, aside from this being some nonsense, degenerate, weird, impossible to relate to fucking freak shit, I think it's really funny that a guy is like, these spurious online attacks, and then also says, I'm 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. I would never let him live that down. Ever. Ever. If you said that in any way, all the other stuff aside, all the other fucked up stuff that he said aside, and that was exposed about him aside, this is so dumb. It's so just stupid and like, what'd you say? You said that? In a horny fit of rage? Interesting. He was dropped by WME, his talent agency at the time, and very bad. His standing within the industry, his access to future opportunities, etc., extremely limited in one foul swoop. I don't know if that's the right word or the right turn of phrase. And to add fuel to the already quite hot flames, it was alleged after all these alleged allegations that his grandfather, Armie Hammer, who was a famous oil baron and humanitarian, had also killed someone in the 1950s over gambling and sexual advances on his wife. Man, that Hammer bloodline's weird. They have an insatiable thirst for blood. So yeah, allegations mounting. Law enforcement eventually becomes involved. In February 2021, the Los Angeles Police Department opened an investigation into Hammer, which further legitimized the seriousness of the accusations against him. No longer are they just spurious online insults by ne'er-do-wells and whippersnappers wanting to cancel people for no reason. The Los Angeles Police Department said, "We can confirm that Armie Hammer is the main suspect in an alleged sexual assault investigation that was initiated February 3rd of this year." So not only is he a self-proclaimed cannibal, he's also the main suspect in an alleged sexual assault investigation. Then things got very dark and very serious in March 2021 when a woman known as Effie publicly accused Armie Hammer of her in April of 2017. This allegation, substantially more serious than the previous claims, the fucking insane cannibal shit, it led to even more intense scrutiny and even more of the house of cards falling down around Mr. Hamoid. This guy's a fucking disgusting, degenerate freak. He just lives and behaves like a wild animal, it seems. He also sent this text: "I'd chase you down and pounce on you so fast if you tried to walk away." That's weird. It's crazy. You know, he's like a human lion. He's like a human animal. When was the last time you needed to see a doctor, but you just pushed it off? Maybe you told yourself, "I'm too busy. That broken leg will heal on its own." We've all been there, my friends. Booking a doctor's appointment in general can feel like such a hassle. That's where ZocDoc comes in, longtime sponsor of the channel. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality, in-network doctors and instantly book an appointment. Seriously. We're talking about more than 100,000 doctors here across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and all the other ones. You can filter for doctors that will take your insurance, who are nearby, who fit your specific medical needs, and are even highly rated from verified patients. And once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings and click to instantly book. Appointments made through ZocDoc usually happen fast. We're talking 24 to 72 hours, sometimes even same day. Not quite that fast, that's misleading, but it's pretty fast. I use ZocDoc and you should too. Quit putting off all those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Oompaville. That's ZocDoc.com/Oompaville, ZocDoc.com/Oompaville. So we have all the allegations, the crazy shit from 2021 and the incredibly serious situation from 2017. In 2023, it was decided that Armie Hammer will not be charged over any allegation of sexual assault. So that was 2 years ago. Now it's 2025, and Armie Hammer is reflecting on the cannibal scandal. Once again, I just hope everything genuinely, every rock was turned over and everything was actually figured out in as airtight of a way as possible. It's impossible to know, obviously, behind the scenes. You know, people do fuck up shit all the time. That's why we have a justice system, etc., etc., etc. I'm a fucking YouTuber, so I don't know. I focus more on the insane, goofy shit and laughing at things that deserve to be laughed at. For example, this fucking goofball dumbass and his cannibal scandal. It gets crazier though. He decided to reflect on said cannibal scandal in a podcast interview, offering some insight into his personal experience of the ordeal. He said, "You're just left standing there naked in front of the world with all your proclivities or kinks being judged by the world. You know, your cannibal kink?"
Before that, I had used any of that public attention as a sort of sense of validation for myself because I didn't know how to give it to myself.
Yeah.
I was feeding off of that like a psychic vampire.
Yeah.
And then all that goes away. And all of a sudden, you're just left standing there naked in front of the world with all of your proclivities or kinks being judged by the world. Like, that shit is tough.
Dude, what the I have a murder kink. I have a fucking murder kink. You're weird. You're so weird. You know what my kink is? Kink shaming. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't really care that much. This deserves to be made fun of though. A lot. This is crazy. Armie also said that he had been in full panic mode, those are his words, as the allegations unfolded, and everybody's eyes were on him for completely negative reasons.
So then, were you like, am I losing my fucking mind here as this was happening? Like,
I think I was more just in full panic mode because, I mean, to get a little bit serious here, there was this sort of like, there was the mask that I didn't really identify with, but everyone thought was me, that became sort of like my safety net and identity.
He said, I mean, dude, there would be articles in like the Punjabi Times about how I was a cannibal and all that stuff. And I think in March of 2021, like I was the like 5th most searched person on Google in the world, and all of it was negative. You did say I am 100% a cannibal. So how do you want people to take that though? You know, if shit you say in private is ever to be made public, do you think people are just going to be like, oh, well, that's said in private, so it's not real. It's not real. It's not just, you know, you think it in your head. That's when it's not real. Your second thought and your first action. He wrote that shit down. I assume that was his fucking negative 0.5 thought. That was his primordial ooze seeping out. It's totally mind-boggling, and there have been no legal ramifications. Once again, the LAPD investigation concluded in May of 2023, and authorities cited a lack of evidence, insufficient evidence, as the reason as to why things couldn't be pushed any further. But even then, there's no way to undo the damage that is already done. Saying I'm 100% a cannibal and totally being a fucking freak degenerate and having your proclivities shown in front of the world, it's hard to come back from that. Now, if you're a really famous guy and you're the grandson of an oil baron, probably a lot of expectations on you, and you probably don't have a very healthy relationship with your parents, family, etc. And honestly, if you have a cannibal kink, same goes for that. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that not many well-adjusted people have cannibal kinks. Armie Hammer was exiled from Hollywood, and people were trying to figure out where he went for a long time. Some reports surfaced indicating that Armie Hammer had taken employment as a timeshare salesman in the Cayman Islands, which is the opposite of being a famous person in Hollywood. His attorney said yes, he is working because of this, and I've seen videos of him talking about where he's been. Armie Hammer. I saw this video. I just saw my truck.
And taken it camping.
It's a truck, though. Who cares?
Multiple times on long road trips, and I took it for one last road trip to CarMax. This is because I'm selling my truck. Here's to new beginnings.
Here's to new beginnings. It does seem like he's rolling with the punches, which I've got to say is good. I don't want to be in a world in which people can't come back from crazy shit like this. I just hope that obviously justice actually works and everything. You just grow and be better. Let's focus on that, I guess, because we'll never get to the bottom of, we'll never know, right? It's all behind the lock and key of the justice system and the privacy of the people that are involved. This guy's been in a lot of financial trouble. American Express filed a lawsuit against him for $66,000 because he'd just been buying shit. The cash transfers, cash advances, all in an account that he co-owned with his ex-wife, Elizabeth Chambers. Bro's struggling to make ends meet hardcore. I also keep mentioning the oil baron parents. Let's see. Armie Hammer net worth. Okay. $10,000. This is right after the truck video I just showed you guys. $10,000 as he sells his truck amid cannibal scandal. I can't believe it's called a cannibal scandal. Armie Hammer mom, Drew Ann Mobley. Armie Hammer dad, Michael Armand Hammer. Okay. Net worth $200 million. So yeah, the family's got a lot of money. Armie's gonna be fine. This is like some kind of performance art at this point, I think, of him trying to pretend like he's a normal person. Only after he's been canceled for a cannibal scandal is he one of us. I can't believe that he was a timeshare salesman. That is really genuinely unbelievable. It's great though. I mean, it's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with timeshares other than it just being a fucking terrible, stupid investment and something that no one should ever buy, and especially not from Armie Hammer.
That's the great thing about timeshare. You get a little taste of luxuries you can't afford, and then share it with the people that come tomorrow.
It's good to see him, you know, kissing the dirt like one of us low peons. I have an idea. He should release a meme coin. I can think of a couple names. How about I'm 100%? Interestingly enough, he also said that he experienced a sense of gratitude for all this stuff. It was a brutal experience, but he's happier than ever. I guess because he's free from his life of fame and wealth, I guess. I don't really know. This is also an important bit of information. Apparently, he is now sober after entering rehab to battle apparent addictions to drugs, alcohol, and sex. Therapy for me has been a life changer, he said. I needed an adjustment. There was some shit going on. Yeah, bro. Some cannibal shit. It's such an odd story. There's so much to dissect because, you know, you want to just say, well, this guy, the SA thing, that's horrible and you know, irreprehensible. There's nothing you can say or do to come back from that when there's all these allegations, all these people coming out. Like, it's just don't be a famous person. Go sell timeshares, right? Like, that's just kind of what's gonna happen. Especially when you're saying you're a fucking cannibal. It's the nature of the beast. You can't control the mob. I do like the idea of personal transformation. I'm glad to see that he's grateful that he can't put gas in his truck, but he's also the grandson of an oil tycoon. I just can't help but feel like this is not real. This person's not a real person. I don't know what it is about him. Frankly, I don't care about, I think the whole I'm 100% a cannibal and then going on a PR tour a couple years later, that's really funny to me. The bad stuff is not funny, obviously. And do I feel bad for Armie Hammer? No, dude. No, I don't. I don't. I know people who can't fill up their trucks just in general, and they've never been the grandson of an oil tycoon, and they've never been canceled for deserved reasons, by the way. There's a lot to this. It's a lot of stuff, and I am low IQ. I have no idea how to walk through this, and it seems like Armie doesn't either. And the reason I wanted to make this video, aside from it being funny from the I'm a cannibal perspective, is because some of his family dynamics have been aired out. He created a podcast called Armie Hammer Time to address his past controversies. And instead of it answering any questions or doing anything to be like, oh, well, that makes sense. This guy's awesome, whatever. It opened a fucking Pandora's box of insanity and weirdness.
What did you give
So
me
I
for
call
my
Armie
birthday?
and I go, Armie, what would you like for your birthday this year? And he goes, oh, I don't know, maybe money, whatever. And I was like, I believe I'm going to give you a vasectomy.
Now you go to the page and the last episode is episode 116 and you think, well, it's been going on a long time. No. It's actually episode 16. He did episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 112. He skipped 101 episodes for some reason. I don't know why he would do that unless he's trying to mislead people into thinking that it's been running longer than it actually has. I don't know, dude. The channel banner looks like he's shitting. I don't know what this is. It's pretty good. It's a good angle. Pretty good. The Armie Hammer Time podcast. I'd love to go on his podcast or have him on my podcast. It's an interesting way to rehabilitate your image. He's been around a lot. He was recently on Louis Theroux's podcast and he seemed somewhat split between trying to be a candid, honest, open, genuine human being and just blatantly trying to rehab his image like a fucking Hollywood freakazoid.
I think the most important context to give these kinds of things is they are one side of a conversation.
Maybe just say, yeah, that's really weird. And I've been in a lot of therapy since that.
It's important to note that you're only seeing one side of the story. You see, the other person was actually role-playing as a hamburger.
Shut up! They weren't role-playing as a hamburger. You said you're a cannibal. I'm not a hungry boy. Part of his candidness is him admitting to taking a bite out of the heart of the animal, and he justified that as saying it's a charged male rite of passage.
Did you cut the heart out of the animal and eat it while still warm?
No, you don't eat the whole heart.
You didn't
One of the
do that.
traditions is you take a bite out of the heart, and you've got all your buddies around you. They're goading you on. It's sort of like a almost overly charged male rite of passage when you go hunting for your first time.
Hey guys, it's totally normal to eat a hot heart. I've taken a lot of my friends hunting for the first time and none of them have eaten hearts, to be honest, because it's really wild. Maybe I could see you're on a 2-week-long trek in the mountains of New Mexico and you get a big bull elk and it's this crazy, you're with an arrow, a bow and arrow, something like that, something spiritual almost.
Randy wants a cheeseburger. I'll give him a goddamn cheeseburger.
I could maybe see that, but I just don't see Armie Hammer getting too into it. It seemed like he's horny. He seems like he's horny about that kind of stuff. It seems like more so it's that, less of a male charged rite of passage and more so of a, I'm a freak. So yeah, kind of odd, to be honest. He's then asked if he'd work with Woody Allen.
If Woody Allen offered you a role in his new movie, would you take it?
Would I work with Woody Allen?
If you guys don't know who Woody Allen is, I'll explain it in a second, but in an attempt to make the point that cancel culture is toxic, yes, of course, who the f cares? It's also, you're allowed to say and do whatever you want, and people are allowed to react in whatever the f way they want. You can't control it. Shut up. He doesn't think people should be canceled outright, or it's not as simple as black and white. There's nuance. Of course, but that's not how people work. He doesn't say no that he wouldn't work with Woody Allen.
I don't know that I buy into any of the cancel, we need to this and that. Like, I don't know.
Now, in my opinion, it's a bad look to allude to the idea that you'd even consider working with Woody Allen. Woody Allen, for context, is an American director slash filmmaker who is also subject to scandalous, controversial things. Not cannibal scandals, but several other things, though. You see, it was discovered that Woody Allen's current wife, Soon-Yi Previn, was kind of his adopted daughter. And that's a bizarre situation, maybe some grooming, very odd thing to do, certainly not a healthy, well-adjusted human being thing to do for sure. Woody Allen had been with Soon-Yi's mother, Mia Farrow, and even adopted some of Mia Farrow's children, Mia Farrow's daughter, Dylan Farrow, and her sons, Ronan Farrow and Moses Farrow. These all sound like made-up people, but they're real. He didn't adopt Soon-Yi, but her adoptive siblings were his adopted children, and he was with Soon-Yi's mother. That's why when in 1992, when Mia and Woody Allen separated, he married Soon-Yi 5 years later. Now, it's important to note, Dylan Farrow, Woody's actual adoptive daughter, has come out with the support of her mother and former partner of Woody, Mia Farrow, to allege that Woody Allen sexually abused her as a child.
At the age of 7, Dylan told her mother, actress Mia Farrow, that Allen had molested her. Allen has always denied the allegations.
Woody Allen obviously has denied this, saying that Mia coerced Dylan to make this claim because she was angry over Woody having an affair with and later marrying Mia's other daughter, Soon-Yi. So at best, Woody Allen is a fucking creepy weirdo, and at worst, he's a child abuser. Not someone I'd ever want to work with. This guy married a woman that he first met when she was 7 years old and was like his daughter. Strange. He also does admit to leaning in to kiss her while she was back from college, but Dylan and Mia Farrow allege that it was when she was in high school as a child. So that's the guy that Armie Hammer said, I wouldn't say no to working with him.
I don't know that I buy into any of the cancel, we need to this and that. Like, I don't know.
Probably because he's fucking desperate. Yeah, man, let's just work with all the canceled people. Now let's talk about Armie Hammer's mom. Very odd. He has a bizarre relationship with his mother. His mother actually gifted him a vasectomy for his birthday.
What did you give
So
me
I
for
call
my
Armie
birthday?
and I go, Armie, what would you like for your birthday this year? And he goes, oh, I don't know, maybe money, whatever. And I was like, I believe I'm going to give you a vasectomy.
He couldn't afford it. He wanted to get a vasectomy, I assume so he could lay pipe and fuck cannibal women or whatever I don't know what he's into. But his mom helped him out and was like, yo, I'll buy you a vasectomy. And the complexities of his relationship with his mother, just listening to them talk to each other, is so uncomfortable. It made my skin fucking crawl. His mom came on a guest of his podcast in episode 2 and 3, and at one point they didn't even have a relationship because she behaved more like a pastor than a mother, and it's just so bad. You can tell this guy just wanted a mom so bad.
I don't need a pastor, I need a mom. And if you're
And, like, I don't know what the point of this
and
is.
you're only trying to be a pastor, then I don't need that relationship in my life. I don't need another pastor. And we didn't talk for a while because you were like, well, this is just who I am. And that's fine. Like, everybody is allowed to
Why would you do this on a podcast?
however they want when boundaries are presented.
Why would you do this on a
I have
podcast?
practiced having boundaries, and you're allowed to react or respond to them however you see fit.
They talk about all sorts of stuff in this podcast, and it's just so uncomfortable. They discuss when Armie was a child, he was groomed and abused by his youth pastor.
At that church, I start being groomed and then sexually abused by a youth pastor.
Yes.
And then I don't know if we need to necessarily go into how the family reacted to that.
Well, I would love to go into that because I think it's one of my greatest failures as a parent.
And her mom feels that that situation and her response to it are some of her biggest failures. Like, I don't know why you would ever televise this. It's weird seeing Armie Hammer, you know, this guy who's like, I'm 100% a cannibal, and he just gets massively canceled. And he's clearly a freak degenerate. And then seeing him talk to his mom, and it's like, oh, she seems like an even worse person than him. How is this even possible? How is this even possible? Knowing some of this, especially Armie's relationship with his mom, giving 4 Bibles to you in 2 visits, in spite of there being boundaries established, being groomed/abused as a child.
You brought me another Bible. So this would be the 4th Bible that you've given me in the last 2 times that I've seen you. I found one in my car that you put in my car. I found this one, and then I've got these 2 that you gave me. So thank you for coming. Thank you for bearing gifts. Welcome to my home.
Having a mom that just imposes their beliefs on you, whatever, you know, however you want to spin it, I can definitely see a world in which that would cause someone to become fucked up in the head. Now, cannibal, I don't know. Cannibal, I'm not sure. That all being said, with his history of being abused, it makes me further question his conversation with Louis Theroux and how he was like, I would never rule out working with Woody Allen. He seems like a good guy. Maybe he doesn't know. I'm not sure. So it seems like Armie Hammer is ready to come back into the world. Is the world ready for Armie Hammer? I really don't know. He's done some absolute insane shit, like eating an animal's heart and saying, I'm 100% a cannibal. I want to put you in a cage. You're my slave. Very odd, very weird. It's a lot to dissect, like I mentioned, and it's a incredibly complicated situation. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Go watch the 2nd channel and the devlog channel. That's the 3rd channel. And go to sour.gg to buy some candy. Thank you all so much.